Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight we're back here with Death Battle, and tonight we got ourselves a battle of the hulking behemoths. Hulk's back at it once again, but this time, this is actually his first appearance. He's up against the Superman killing Doomsday. Yeah, it's Marvel versus DC, so figured why not. So if it's all, here you are, you're welcome. So without any further ado, be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy this death battle. Let's rock and roll. Let's begin. By the way, this is old school. I think season 3?
Pure, unadulterated rage. Usually, in a stressful situation,
Hey,
you'd want to avoid this sort of emotion in order to keep yourself focused.
Unless you're a giant rampaging pile of muscles, like these two.
Dr. Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk.
And Doomsday, the monster who killed Superman.
Yep.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
First up.
Within each of us, oft times, there dwells a mighty and raging fury. And this suits no one better than the mild-mannered scientist, Bruce Banner.
Cause when Bruce gets angry, oh boy,
The
you
monster
wouldn't like him when he's
unleashed.
angry.
Dr. Robert Bruce Banner may have grown up with few friends, but what he lacked in popularity, he made up tenfold with his intellect. However, in spite of his gifts, it was never enough to earn the respect and love of his father.
Partly because
Right.
Bruce was so smart that his alcoholic dad literally thought he was a monster and expressed that to Bruce
Jeez.
pretty thoroughly. God damn! How much distance do you think you got there, Wiz?
50?
9, 10 feet?
Man, with an arm like that, he could really go places. Like the...
Jeez. I mean, Two was jealous of his own kid. Let that sink in for a minute, you know? Like, Two was jealous his own kid was getting more attention from his mom. Yeah, you heard that right. Fortunately, I think some people can get like that sometimes. Sometimes, but I haven't seen many examples of that. But anyway, here's where it goes too far. Listen.
nut house after he murdered his wife right in front of Bruce.
See?
Aw.
Understandably traumatized, Bruce coped by creating an imaginary friend to talk to.
You know, I had an imaginary friend once.
You did? What was his name?
Dad.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
Ooh,
Bruce's
awkward.
friend served as an emotional outlet all the way through his college graduation. However, his advice to Bruce was oftentimes
Bloody?
destructive.
So when the U.S. military recruited Bruce to make weapons, it was actually kind of fitting.
Bruce was tasked with developing a gamma bomb, which would use gamma radiation to target enemy weapons and buildings without endangering human lives.
If
At
only they
least
knew.
that's what Bruce was told.
Surprise, surprise! Gamma radiation is actually pretty fucking
damaging.
harmful. And when it came time to test the bomb and some dumb kid decided to play his harmonica right in the test zone, Bruce asked his assistant to stop the countdown and dashed off to save him. But turns out his assistant was a Russian spy who set off the bomb anyway.
On that strange day, Bruce's imaginary friend became a real-life terror as
Yep.
he transformed into the Incredible
Hulk.
Hulk.
Really?
Yes, apparently. Ever since, whenever he's angry, Bruce's body and mind morphs into that of the Hulk's, granting him unmeasurable power.
While he loses Bruce's brain power, the Hulk is ridiculously strong. He can
Yeah,
leap
very
great distances, survive the harshest environments, and most importantly, smash the crap out of everything with his bare fists.
He also knows a technique known as the thunderclap, which creates a shockwave that can deafen foes, level forests, and push back explosions.
As if he needed anything more than that, the Hulk has a healing factor that gives Wolverines a run for his money.
You're healing. You should be dead.
He's super strong and super hard to kill.
Oh,
What's
there's more,
not to
but
like?
again, go
Well,
to the,
there's one
well,
little
you know.
detail that kind of ruins the whole
the
experience.
Broly fight.
Bruce can't really control the Hulk.
Yeah, again,
In fact,
separate
the Hulk
entities.
is his own being, and
See?
they both hate each other, vying for dominance over Bruce's body. And yet, Bruce and the Hulk are often reminded how much they depend on each other for survival.
Bruce figured if he was stuck with his big green Goliath forever, he might as well try using it for good. Eventually,
You know, funny thing, like in FCU, I think he and Hulk actually came together to like form one being. At least that's what I remember from like the She-Hulk thing in Endgame, which I'm surprised we never really got. Like, out of everyone in the Avengers and the MCU, Hulk is shown like the least. Like, the only times we've seen him like was the first movie that followed Iron Man, and then just the Avengers movie throughout. Like, nothing. The only time we've seen outside of the Avengers was Thor's movie, Ragnarok. Like, think of it that way. Like, that's crazy. No. We never really see him, like, work things out with Hulk, which, man, I gotta say, people keep saying Thor got done dirty. What about Hulk? Like, he got shafted a lot. Really. Just saying, like, when you compare the two, Hulk's got the worst treatment, I mean, don't even help, he didn't even have his own TV show. Like, that was his cousin, She-Hulk. And that wasn't even received that well, from what I've heard. I don't know if that was just because it was just mean to death, but, I don't know. Like I said, never seen it, which, from what I've heard, good thing. Ugh. Like I said, poor Hulk. Anyway.
Joining the Avengers, Defenders, the Fantastic Four, and even the Illuminati.
Hulk has held up a 150 billion ton mountain, escaped Earth's gravitational pull with a single jump.
And one time when a planet's tectonic plates started splitting apart, threatening to shatter the whole world, he just jumped right in there and pulled the planet back together.
The estimated average mass of a
that
single
was because the Illuminati sent him there because he was too deadly.
Tons, and the Hulk pulled 2 of these together with nothing
One
but
hand
his bare
each.
hands.
And he's not just strong and tough, he's more than twice as fast as a fighter jet, which puts him over Mach 5 speeds at least. And he can always go faster if he's pissed off enough.
That's fighting in 18
This is
minutes.
because the Savage Hulk's strength is directly related to his anger. The angrier he gets, the more powerful he becomes. In theory, this means his maximum level of strength is potentially infinite. And when he taps into that
Potentially
immeasurable
and
rage to the
theoretically.
fullest, he truly lives up to his name of Worldbreaker.
Bigger, stronger, and oozing with gamma radiation, the Worldbreaker Hulk is so powerful, with a single stomp he created earthquakes felt hundreds of miles away. In his battle with Sentry, basically Marvel
again.
Superman, they almost destroyed New York. And when battling another Worldbreaker Hulk, a single collision between them obliterated an entire planet.
Even the mutant Darwin's power, which specifically adapts to counter any enemy, decided that the best defense against the Hulk was to be somewhere else.
Holy hell! Who could even stand up to this madness?
Not many, obviously. Typically, Bruce does his best to contain and limit the Hulk's power. In fact, Worldbreaker Hulk is a result of Bruce relinquishing that control entirely. In terms of combat, usually only cosmic beings like Silver Surfer or Zeus have the might to challenge the Hulk.
Oh yeah, like that one time Zeus hit him so hard it burned out his healing factor.
But even gods sometimes have to learn the hard way. You do not mess
make
with the
Hulk
incredible
angry.
Hulk.
That's Loki Hulk.
You dull creature.
Watch.
And I will not be bullied by that.
There we go. Thank you, Hulk. Say it.
Puny god.
You gotta love that scene. But yeah, dude's a rage beast. Not in the fun way, you know what I mean. But yeah. Pretty deadly, huh? Anyway, so there's the Hulk. And we did see a little more of him from the Broly fight. So let's take a look at Doomsday, yeah? Should be next. Yep, here we go.
What if all you had ever known was hatred and aggression, violence and pain? This life is reality for
YouTube comments, Doomsday, yeah. Doomsday guy.
There you go.
Thousands of years ago,
ultimate
on an
life form.
uninhabitable prehistoric planet which would one day be known as
accelerator.
Krypton, a scientist
Ocean.
named Bertron intended to engineer the ultimate life form.
Cactus.
Yep, it's another one of those stories, but with one hell of a twist.
Watch.
See, at this time, Krypton was a harsh wasteland filled with nothing but sharp rocks, poisonous air, and violent predators.
Bertrand believed that if he could create something that could live through that, they could survive just about anywhere.
To realize this theory, Bertrand acquired an infant from somewhere and, through a rapidly accelerated evolution process, attempted to transform him into his dream creation.
Oh,
good
don't
idea.
try to dance around it, Wiz. Bertrand put that little sucker into a baby cannon, blasted him into the wild to get murdered by any number of things, sucked up what was left of him with a vacuum cleaner, and just cloned a new one out of the mess to do it all over again.
Well, Yeah, the idea being each new clone would be stronger than the one before, thus covering millions of years of evolution in just a few decades.
That
That's a good
doesn't
idea.
sound like science.
No, it doesn't. So after 30 straight years of baby murder, one of the clones finally survived the test. Amazed by his own success, Bertrand named this baby the Ultimate.
The ultimate baby.
But to the rest of the universe, he was their Doomsday.
Yep.
See, Wiz, reloading as it is, patenting my baby cannon was a good idea.
Successful
Not
as
this
Bertrand's
case.
experiment was, it was anything but a good idea.
No.
Turns out, while Doomsday usually appears to be a mindless beast, he remembered
funny
every
either.
single time Bertrand had him killed.
Oof.
As a result, Doomsday had been unintentionally programmed at a genetic level to hate everything that lives.
Bummer. Needless to say,
Ouch.
Bertrand was pretty screwed.
Because even with 30 years of development, Bertrand had never quite figured out what to do if his experiment actually worked. Because Bertrand is the worst.
I mean,
Yeah, let's be real. Like, if you're planning to create the ultimate life form, you gotta include a weakness. Like, seriously, teach it kindness. Like, you're just being a prick after that. Way to go, Bertrand. You played yourself. And ironically, following a trope of creators getting killed by their creations. Ironic, isn't it? Anyway, moving along.
he did do what he set out to do. He made an 8'10" monster that doesn't need to eat, breathe, or have internal organs to live. It
Yep.
just kills and kills and kills some more.
Doomsday possesses enormous strength, incredible durability, and poisonous spikes which can extend. But due to
Well,
Bertrand's
vitamins
experiments,
cause of
Doomsday's
death.
greatest
That's-
power of all is his ability to adapt to his opponent's powers.
On the fly.
After taking his sweet revenge, Doomsday stowed away on a supply ship and ravaged dozens of planets until he finally found himself on Earth.
On that day, Doomsday did the unthinkable. On
Killed
that day,
Superman.
Doomsday killed Superman. Well, kind of. He actually put him into a super sleep. After several days, he kind of woke up more powerful.
Yeah, we all know, Wiz. At least Soups took Doomsday down with him. Or
Unfortunately
maybe not. Turns out, whenever Doomsday dies, he just comes back to life, forever immune to whatever killed him
See?
in the first place.
Can't beat me the same way twice.
He's been
Yeah.
punched to death by Superman, blasted apart by the Radiant's energy, brutally ripped in half, incinerated by Imperiex, and just curb stomped by a Kryptonian horde.
Practically
But
invulnerable at this
seriously,
point, Doomsday's taken
how
on
is he-
Darkseid,
how is he
tanking his
coming
Omega
back?
beams and beating him to near death. He single-handedly defeated most of the Justice League and took on an
Before
energy
they were
attack
big
that
hitters,
wiped
by the
out a
way.
fifth of a planet.
He's punched through the Phantom Zone, battled super beings called Gogs for a century, and even broken Wonder Woman's arms. Arms strong enough to help pull the Earth.
And during his rematch with the Man of Steel, after witnessing Doomsday survive an explosion equivalent to 1 million
million
nukes,
nuclear
Superman
blast.
realized that the only way to stop him was
Okay.
to send him to the end of time.
At his most powerful, Doomsday's mere presence can boil the ocean and disintegrate buildings. A casual stroll across
Oh, yeah, the
Africa
Doomsday
made
virus,
wildebeest an endangered species just by walking around. But what he's got in strength, he really lacks in brains.
Not that he's dumb, he just literally lacks a brain. More often than not, Doomsday is little more than a one-track mind-killing machine. This makes his intentions predictable, and a clever opponent could use this to, say, lead him into a trap. And should that foe come up with a new way to hurt Doomsday, he could be killed.
Still, that's gonna be pretty goddamn hard to do.
Yeah, let me know. Like, if you can overpower, Superman, you're dealing with a lot. And I mean a lot of power. So, I'm not sure the Hulk's comparable, but yeah, I don't think Hulk's gonna win this one. It's kind of a curbstone when you compare the two, like you said, Hulk's been known to just bash people with their heads until they're out. But Doomsday, he's been through a lot with a Kryptonian horde. Yep. This one's not going to be a win for Hulk. I think we can all agree on that. But might as well see how they make the fight look. Let's go. I don't even have to guess. And here he comes. And here comes Doomsday. There's long screen. That just dropped it. Fair enough.
Hulk smash ugly cycles!
Here we go. Ready? Fight!
What you like? Stupid gray man!
Oh, strong as there is! Again, it's seeing you.
Hulk hate you! Hulk hates spiky beard!
Spiky beard. Keep that going. Oh, he broke the camera. Well, he ain't done yet.
You break buildings good, but Hulk
Break
walls!
else. And I think they actually are pretty. Yep, dead. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hell!
Oh, that was beautiful!
With the Hulk's
Poor Hulk.
immeasurable power and Doomsday's impossible immortality, this truly felt like a fight between an unstoppable force and an immovable object.
Hulk
Well,
may have had
not
the advantage in
immovable.
raw strength, at least at his full potential,
See?
but Doomsday could certainly hold his ground. His victories against the likes of Superman and Darkseid prove he can take a hit from someone strong enough to break planets.
And
See?
by experience, Doomsday had the speed advantage. He regularly fights foes with light speed capabilities, while
Like
that
Flash.
kind of speed is an extreme rarity in the Marvel Universe. In fact, the only foe that fast who Hulk's ever
Sentry.
seemed to keep pace with in a one-on-one match was Sentry, and that was when he was at his most powerful stage, Worldbreaker Hulk.
So overall, Hulk had strength and Doomsday had speed, but neither completely outclassed the other. At first glance,
Again,
this one looked
you
like
gotta
it
look
could
at the
go either way.
abilities.
Which means the devil's in the very tiny details.
So why couldn't the Hulk's infinite strength just keep rising and eventually overwhelm Doomsday?
But remember what he
Well,
said in the
even assuming
analysis.
Hulk's strength was infinite, his healing factor was not.
See?
Don't get me wrong, it can only be overtaxed by hits from absurdly powerful beings such as Zeus or Sentry, whom Doomsday certainly compares.
Naturally, Doomsday's crazy strength and speed
All it took
started
was
wearing
him
that
to-
healing factor down.
Here's where it gets a bit
not
tricky.
infinite.
The Hulk may look like a giant green monster, but he's still technically human, and his power directly correlates with his anger. A
See?
human being's anger stems from an increase in hormones and adrenaline in the body. However, the brain can only produce these chemicals at such a rate for a limited time, eventually giving up and turning apathetic. Therefore, Hulk's limitless power could never have existed without his healing factor. It's the key. It allowed his body to continue producing
Oh,
hormones
so with the
and
healing
adrenaline
factor gone,
far
you
beyond
can't
the norm,
increase the
theoretically
speed,
an endless supply,
increase the
thus
strength
increasing
anymore.
his superhuman power to an immeasurable degree. So Doomsday overtaxing his healing factor meant the Hulk could no longer maintain his increasing rage and Hulk
See?
form.
And if you're still skeptical, that's why there's a bunch of times in comics when a huge impact forced the Hulk to turn back into Bruce Banner,
See?
including that battle between Worldbreaker Hulk and Sentry. With his healing power beaten down, he literally couldn't keep himself angry enough to stay in Hulk mode.
I love science, but there's still one more thing. Thanks to his battles with Superman and other Kryptonians, Doomsday has evolved to a point where it's basically impossible to kill him with brute force alone.
So Hulk couldn't have killed him by just getting angry enough to punch harder than Doomsday ever felt.
Precisely. Here's the proof. Superman and Doomsday eventually had a rematch, in which Superman was much more powerful than their first battle. As we discussed before, Superman's power is also potentially limitless by way of continually absorbing solar energy. And at this point in his story, he'd begun to discover that.
But try as he might, despite his increased power, Supes couldn't kill Doomsday with blunt force a second time.
Ultimately, Doomsday's
Like he
immunity
said
to
in
being
the
ripped,
cartoon,
impaled,
you can't kill him
incinerated,
twice.
blasted with energy, and being beaten by blunt force from both focused and multiple sources means
See?
Hulk just didn't have the options available
Which,
to take
again,
Doomsday
considering
out
strategy,
before his healing
generally,
factor was
yeah.
overtaxed.
No
On
dice.
this day, Hulk met his doom. Doomsday.
The winner
Winner
is Doomsday.
Doomsday. Yeah, this was pretty much a losing effort for Hulk. He just couldn't outdo him. Which, again, considering like you can't die twice, he was screwed. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Poor Hulk, though. So, until next time, like, subscribe for more. See ya.